Okay, so this is the trade review for 4th November, and this is recorded 3 days later. So let's go over the trades. It was quite a frustrating day, and quite a bad day also. The second worst day ever since I started this series. The worst day is still probably the day 3rd November. Yeah. So the first trade is Nvidia. I entered puts at 9.33 and exited at 9.45. I entered at 2.55 and exited at 2.05 for $50 loss. So I entered in this candle and exited. So I probably entered at a close below pre-market and this trend line, and I held for the next candle, but the candle after that closed above everything, closed above pre-market low, closed above the trend line and VWAP. So I had to exit. Here for $50 loss. Yeah, so I think maybe what could be improved is taking the cross of price and then setting quick stops. Otherwise, I could take the break of this week, which it actually didn't break because the low of the first candle was 200.9, but the low of the next candle is 200.91. So it didn't actually have a follow through, and we also have a trend line here. So maybe I could be more patient for this setup. But anyway, if I waited for the close and enter, then if it closed back above, I would have to exit. Yeah, so this was a $50 loss on a $255 option. So for the next play, I took SPY calls at $1.96 and exited for 2.18 and 2.36. So that's a $22 gain and a $40 gain. So I entered at 9.45 and exited at 9.51 and 9.53. So 9.45. Okay, so I took this because this previous 5-minute candle closed above the trend line. And yeah, so I took it around here from this level. And exited on the next candle for $22 and $40. So this was a quick scalp. Yeah, if let's say this candle closed below, then I would just have to exit. I'm not sure if I took on the cross of this week or at the close. 9:45, 21 seconds. So I probably just took it when this candle closed above, which is a valid entry. It just didn't work out for the Nvidia trade. So you win some and you lose some on this kind of close candle entry. You never really know, But I guess manage position size, and I could also set like a tighter stop maybe once it cross. I probably wouldn't because VWAP is right above. Yeah, so I'll keep track of this kind of plays lah. Yeah, as I review them. I would say this is more of a sometimes it's a art to exit rather than just following the signs and the rules, because there's no signs really. Okay. So the next trade, okay, 9.59 I entered calls on Nvidia for $3.35 and I exited at 10.05. So this was $44 loss. So 9.59 to 10.05. Yeah, so again I entered because this candle closed above pre-market high. So actually 2 candles closed above pre-market high. Even though there was no follow through, I took a position on this candle. And if it closed below the pre-market high, then I will exit, which was what happened. So I exited the next candle 10.05, 55. So I exited on this candle after a confirm move, because the next candle also closed below VWAP. I was seeing if we have a bounce above VWAP, but this candle actually closed below VWAP. So this was another $44 loss. Yeah. So for the first 2 Nvidia plays, it would be better to take the break of week for the continuation. Even though other than that, or I take the cross of price and have better risk to reward. Yeah, so I think for Nvidia, so far it's been better to take cross of price to give me a better entry. So let's continue. Next is also on Nvidia. 10.10 I entered puts, and 10.20 I sold for a $34 loss. Yeah, so 10.10 to 10.20. Okay, I probably entered a bit prematurely. This candle did close below VWAP. Yeah, so this candle closed right at VWAP and this candle closed below VWAP. I definitely took a very early entry here. And if it closed above VWAP, then I'll just exit, which was what happened on the next candle. That's why I took a quick loss. So very choppy day for Nvidia. Over here, you can see the first few candles already was choppy. Went below VWAP, went above, and then here closed below, and then closed above, then closed below again. So yeah, so very choppy here. I took a lot of quick losses. I would say so far it is still considered small losses because I manage my position size of just one option. And then the next trade is 10.27 entered puts, 10.35, I sold for $3 gain. So I entered at this candle and I exited. Oh, I think my mindset here was I wanted it was a re-entry on this trend line level, and I wanted it to close below, but it closed above, and I exited. Yeah, I probably didn't focus much on VWAP when I was trading at this level. I think it's quite a bad trade because I exited. Yeah. VWAP was right above, so there's a possibility it could bounce there, which it did. So I'm not very sure what I did here. But anyway, it was another small loss. So a lot of small losses. I think I accumulated, not sure how much I was down at this point of time. Negative 50, plus 22, plus 40, negative 44, negative 34, plus 3, negative 25, yeah. So a lot of choppiness over here. At this point, I think I could sense that the market is choppy based on this price action closing above and below VWAP, but I still continue to trade. So that could, sometimes I need to learn how to just stop trading for the day, I guess. Okay, let's move on to the next trade. It is on SPY. 10.45 I entered puts, and 10.48 I exited for a quick $19 gain. Okay, so 10.45 I exited after this candle because it rejected off this trend line and closed below the 200 EMA. So there's a very clear stop, a close above 200 and this trend line over here. So my target was actually just here because this move could already give me 10%. Yeah, so I just took the quick gain over here, exited at 10.48 this candle. So just a quick scalp over here. Next trade is on NVIDIA, 10.55. Entered puts and 11 exited for a loss, $21 loss. $14 loss. So I think this is where I would say my frustration kicks in. So 10.55. Yeah, because I entered at this candle means I might have taken cross of this week actually, but it closed right above, so I needed to exit because it's above the trend line and pre-market. Yeah, so because previously I was already trading this level, I wanted to ride it to the next level down here because pre-market is below the trend line. The trend line is here. Pre-market is also at the same place, and we have opening range together with another trend line over here. So if we break this level over here, opening range, I think we would see a move down to the next level at 199.9. Yeah, so I was trying to take an early entry over here to ride it down all the way here. Basically, I was trying to catch this move over here, but I was caught in the chop before that. So it was choppy for around 1.5 hours before the actual real move. Yeah, so I entered a lot of times over here. I entered once here for a quick loss. I entered once here, entered once here. Yeah, and there's a lot of small losses because I wanted to catch this move. Yeah, so for this trade, 10.55 to 11. Yeah, I think I took the break of this week actually. The break of this week, which is below the trend line and pre-market, but it closed above, so I just had to exit for a small loss, $14 loss. Yeah. Then the next one, 11.10 to 11.29, entered puts again for $21 loss. Another loss. Yeah, 11.10. So again, this candle closed below the trend line, but it didn't close below pre-market. But the next candle actually crossed. Yeah. And I used that as the entry mainly for this trading day. Okay, I exited when this candle closed above because I was aiming this target. So actually I should have set my stops here. So I would say this is a mistake on my part. Yeah, so for this $21 loss, I should have set my stops at break even. But I wanted to hold also because I think on the several time frames it was bearish. Yeah, I remember we had a cross down on the 15-minute time frame. The 10-minute time frame also looked bearish, and also on the 5 minutes. So when I was taking a look at the MACD and RSI, anyway, when it reached this level, I should be more wary on such a choppy day. Either take it for a quick scalp or set my break even. Yeah, but I think I was a bit frustrated because I got wicked out so many times. Wicked out a lot of times. So I decided to hold it, but I eventually took a small loss. Yeah, so this was very frustrating to trade. Yeah, I still continued to trade. So the next one is 12.07, entered puts again, and 12.19, exited for $40 gain. Yeah, so because I was caught in this chop, when it eventually, right, 12.07, when it eventually closed below, so it wicked down this whole support zone. Then I think I was quite confident that it will reach the next target because because it has been like this whole zone was serving as support for so many times. It faked me out so many times, like 3 to 4 times over here. So when it closed below or it wicked below the opening range and this trend line over here, I wanted to trade one more time and catch the whatever move that I can get. So my entry was actually really bad at 12.07. Yeah, 12.07 exactly. So yeah, my entry was like right here at 200. Yeah, so my entry is somewhere here. After the whole flush down, when I was trading all this chop trying to optimize to get an early entry here to play to here, my entry was actually in the end here. And I wrote it down to 12.19. Yeah, so I probably sold. I sold near the bottom for $40 move. So this was 10%. So I think, yeah, I think the one lesson here is definitely wait for confirmation. Like we always want to catch this kind of move, but we don't know when it will happen. So all this chop that I play, I think it was okay because I had my entries and exit rules which I followed. And if let's say this downturn happened on the first time I traded, then it would turn out well. It wouldn't lead to this frustration and chop. But I never know. So I definitely have to handle these kind of situations better where it wicks me out. I think what I can take away is maybe take on a cross of price. I can try taking on a cross of price and set my stops tight once it gives me some room. Yeah, even over here, if I take on a cross of price, I would have, unless it happens very fast, I would have a better entry. And this candle would probably not be as scary. Yeah, but if I waited for confirmation, if let's say this red candle like closed all the way here, then it wouldn't work out as well. So I would say this is the art of entries and exits. There's not really a hard and fast rule that we can follow. Yeah, because all this entry over here, if I waited for a close and a break, it would have saved me. Over here, if I wait for a close and a break, it would also have saved me. Over here, if I wait for a close, yep, I wouldn't have entered. Right over here, a close and a break. Actually, it didn't close here, so it was an early entry. I just took on the break. Yeah, I could consider this a close and a break also because it broke the wick. It also didn't save me. Yeah, over here, I think I needed to wait for decisive close. There was no close candle actually. Yeah, but close and break would save me for these 3 occasions, at least, for this trading day. Closed and break. Okay, over here, it would not have saved me. I needed the strictest entry criteria, which is a close and another following candle close. But yeah, but it wouldn't save me in this when trading this level to this level, because if I wait for this close and I wait for a break or another candle to close below this wick, I would have missed the move already. So I think entry number 2, which is the close and a break, and waiting for 2 candles to close, entry number 3, is really a art. Okay, what if I take the cross of price? Let's say I take the cross of price on this level. I would actually have some leeway to set my stops. Same for here. Same for if I took pre-market, I would really have a very short time to set my stop. I probably wouldn't set my stops. I would just exit for when the candle closed. But at least so if I took the break, it will be better over here. If I took the break, it will also be better over here, but it might not help me in this kind of choppiness because I don't think I'll be so fast unless this move give me like a good 3 to 5%. But I'm not sure how much would this kind of 20-cent move get me on options. Yeah, unless I took the break of this trend line here. But if let's say I use pre-market, this would also be very choppy. I could have been stopped out once, twice, 3 times. So this was a really hard trading day, I would say. But I think what saved me was position size. It was a lot of small losses. So when I keep trading, I contained my loss. And when I eventually got this move, it offset some of the losses. Yeah, so let's review. When I was trying to get an early entry, yeah, so one small loss here, which was $14, one small loss here, $21, $25 loss. Yeah, so I think it's okay because the loss was rather small, and then eventually I caught a $40 gain, even though I was late. Yeah, so it was just very frustrating, I think, and it was kind of like almost revenge trading once I got to this point. Even though like technically this whole area was what is I know it's strong support because I got wicked out so many times. Yeah, I bounced off here, 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 and so when it gave me that close, like I just had to take it, kind of revenge trading. But of course, if it closed back above, then I would exit for another loss. Yeah, then I should be done by then. Should accept defeat. But even my late entry from here to here got me $40. So I think it's okay if I limit my position size. Yeah, but I could also consider loosening my stops, maybe at VWAP, if I want to catch this greater move down. I think it's still okay. Let's say if my entry is around here and my stops is above VWAP, which is reasonable, and my target is here, I think that would be a good like risk to reward for this trade idea. So maybe that's something I can consider rather than playing it by candle. So I think this loosening my stops could work for like Nvidia or Tesla. Okay, maybe just Nvidia first. Yeah, because the options are not 0 DTE. Yeah, if I got like at least one day, I think I can explore this strategy. Yeah, and Tesla is too fast, so it might not be good for a start. So it's something to consider. Okay, so let's see. I got one more trade on the SPY, 12.13 to 12.17. I had a $22 gain. 12.13. So this candle crossed below VWAP. We had an expansion candle to follow up below VWAP, and it also crossed back below pre-market high. Yeah, so I wanted to have a quick scalp just to this. We have a lot of room below to pre-market low, but I think I just because I have this pre-market high level and VWAP over here, so my stops is right above here, candle close, and I just wanted a quick profit. Yeah, so I just took whatever I saw. Yeah, okay, so I probably just took at the next trend line. So this quick move actually gave me $22 off of 2.44. So that was actually close to 10%. Yeah. So I just want to catch this small move. Yep. So that was a frustrating trading day.